before then we've got our next presenter, which is Daivd Forbes. Daivd is the principal, Daivd is the principal with the Buchan Group. He's a leading designer with exceptional experience in the design and master planning of mixed-use hotel, entertainment, residential and retail projects. There's nothing Daivd can't do. He leads both client and design teams to create design solutions that are innovative and unique, while still buildable and affordable. Daivd designs for livable cities with lasting values and legacies, with projects designed to generate significant social, economic and cultural benefits for communities. Please join me in welcoming Daivd to the stage.
Thank you, Dave. I'm going to present today one of our current projects, which is the expansion of the Adelaide Casino. So it's a change of scale and location. Casino projects, or as they're popularly described by their proponents, integrated resorts, developments are among the most intense and diverse mixed-use projects we get involved in. The theory that the whole is greater than the component parts is certainly the axiom adopted by casino developers. Got some images here of what the mix often includes: destination restaurants, hotels, bars, cafes, convention function venues, hierarchy of gaming venues, health spas, gym, pools, nightclubs, theatres, public realm, car parks, retail, all supported by extensive staff, services, security, grounds, public safety and cash movement, food and beverage services, administration services. So I think under the Harvard School of Business we may well qualify as a true mixed-use development. Creating a facility that provides a complete entertainment experience that attracts, develops and sustains the local market and becomes a destination of choice for visitors to the city is the ambition of all casino operators. Crown Melbourne has done this very well, delivering on their promise of a world of entertainment. The Australian casinos operate in an increasingly competitive business environment, with the rapid development of Macau as a casino hotspot and Singapore's Marina Bay and Sentosa Island resorts coming online in 2010. Another significant factor influencing our local market is the emergence of a very strong and high-spending sector based in Asia, within reach of the Australian properties. All major Australian casinos have responded to this challenge and the opportunity, with significant investment committed, underway or proposed to reposition their assets to remain relevant and to grow their local market and target higher spending interstate and international visitors. Certainly the case for our client Sky City Entertainment Group at the Adelaide Casino. They additionally face the challenge of competition from the big eastern seaboard casino resorts. We've been involved in a number of master planning and delivery of casino projects since winning the design competition for the Jupiter's Casino on Gold Coast in 1983. We've subsequently delivered an expansion of the gaming floor in 2005 and followed up with a master plan proposal for the expansion of the property. Following that, we again in international competition won the design for Conrad Treasury Hotel and Casino in Brisbane. This project adapted the significant heritage listed former Treasury and Land Administration buildings to deliver one of Brisbane's finest hotels in a standalone casino venue. In 2013, in recognition of the limited expansion opportunities and constrained operating environment of the heritage buildings, we developed a Brisbane Casino Master Plan proposal for Echo Entertainment, our client, at a new riverside location of Queen's Wharf, envisaging a truly integrated resort featuring a mix of hotel and service department towers, performance theatre, retail, conference facility, hierarchy of gaming venues that would position Echo Entertainment to grow their business, in particular game purchase in the national high-roller market. In 2008, we were appointed executive architect for the expansion of the Star Casino in Sydney. This project sought to expand the casino to grow all tiers of their business: local, interstate, international and high roller gaming. It had a new hotel accommodation, treatment spa, convention, expansion, live entertainment venue, signature restaurant and retail, a lot of which was missing in the original property. This project capitalised on the harbour side location and opened up the resort to the views provided and reinvigorated the complex with a much broader appeal to the local market and the scope to compete more effectively with Melbourne Casino for market share. And so to Adelaide Casino, our current project. The Buchan Group were initially engaged in 2010 to commence development of a master plan for the expansion of Adelaide Casino. The project has had a relatively long gestation period, which is true for most casino developments, which have to navigate government legislation requirements, and that's always a protracted process. This was further complicated in this case because the existing casino operates out of the government-owned heritage-listed Adelaide railway station building, which you can see in the images there. It still operates as the main city terminal, rail terminal for Adelaide CBD. We also interface with a number of neighbours, so it's a very complex site to work with, and I think most of those hurdles have now been overcome, and we're proceeding on with the project. Over that period of time, the North Riverbank precinct of Adelaide has experienced a remarkable burst of infrastructure development that's transforming a relatively, or previously, undeveloped, underutilised and disconnected edge of the CBD. Now, for those not familiar with Adelaide, it's a city map. The city was planned with its CBD in a grid arrangement, and it's ringed by extensive parklands before the suburbs radiate out. The yellow highlighted area is the north bank of the Torrens River, and I'm just going to have a look at that precinct there because our building sits within this precinct, and as I said, it's really emerged as a major mixed-use precinct in its own right. It was heralded by the expansion and redevelopment of the Adelaide Oval, which included the construction of a new footbridge across the river, which lands for connection directly into the railway concourse, which is right at the front door, or a door to our expansion property. General Hospital, a new General Hospital, which I'm led to believe is one of the most expensive buildings certainly built in Australia and possibly in world terms for a government infrastructure spend. That's nearing completion. Next to that, SAMRI, South Australian Medical Research Institute, opened last year. Beside that, two construction sites underway now, developed by SA Uni, which lives opposite that site. Again, two medical related learning centres. Adjacent to that, the existing Adelaide Convention Centre is expanded to the west to include a new exhibition building, and to the right, under construction now, a new plenary building. And that site there is current, or very shortly will be under construction, with Walker Corporation developing a 20-storey office tower, a below-ground car park, and the creation of a new civic space for Adelaide. And right in the heartland of that is the Adelaide Casino expansion site. So this precinct, I think, qualifies as a true mixed-use precinct. The locality plan just focusing in a bit closer to our site, which is highlighted in the red tone there. We're sitting in a very sensitive precinct. We have the Adelaide Theatres buildings to our north, the Adelaide Railway Station buildings heritage listed to our east. On the right is the Parliament, the old Parliament House. Adjacent to it, an Intercontinental Hotel and the Adelaide Convention site to the left of the image there. So all of that development is evidence of a development of a very strong university sector in Adelaide, with medical teaching and research specialisation. This is contributing to an already relatively strong convention market, which in turn is feeding very high local hotel occupancy rates. On top of this, the success of interstate visitor attendance at Adelaide Oval is adding a vibrancy and buzz to the city in the same way that Melbourne comes alive when there's events on. And we're sitting right at the heart of that sporting, recreational, civic, cultural, convention, entertainment precinct. One of the development sites that I mentioned is this new Civic Plaza. It's a very it's part of a riverbank master plan being developed by ARM with the state government to create a contiguous public realm that interconnects all of those facilities along the riverbank and provides more interconnectivity with the city as well as across the river. That's a very important aspect in bringing this precinct alive and making it activated and vibrant and successful. So our design response to that emerging context is an image there of our proposed design. We're providing an integrated entertainment complex incorporating a multi-tiered casino, 80-key all-suite hotel in a new 9-level crystalline jewel building. We've described it to the north of the existing railway station building. The site represents, as you've seen, a rare opportunity to create an extraordinary urban architectural design. And our abiding design objective was to create a building form which is unique, bold and confident identity for the new Adelaide Casino and an enduring, sophisticated international icon for Adelaide. An animation which flies around our building form, approaching from the footbridge over the river, and it illustrates the local context with the theatres on the left, the access to the railway platform at the lower level there, then rising up to the city ground plane with an active ground public realm edge at that ground plane, cafes, our main entry, which addresses the new public space which we're rolling around now. So we want to enable integration with that public space. Created a separation of the two building forms, the grand classical casino palace and the new contemporary casino expansion, two distinctly different forms, separated by a glazed atrium, letting light into the centre of the integrated space. Very light touch between the new and the old. It's approaching from the city, walking down towards the Adelaide Oval, which you might see in the background there. As part of the Riverbank Master Plan, this will become a more pedestrianised shared space. We'll have a valet operating out of there and limited limo drop-off for VIP guests at our hotel front door. The building form, as you see here, is wave linear, glazed form, responding to the river context, the flow of people around the building. It's also a form that softens the edges and is less impactful in the view from, particularly from the north. It also enables the views to be captured from the guest rooms and the restaurants and the public spaces of the building. So it's a marriage, a dance between new and old, male, female. Our interior designers have become very evocative with their description of the building form. Interestingly, I've put a slide up here just comparing Adelaide and Melbourne's CBD, city edge. There's a lot of parallels between the two cities, as has become apparent to me over the last 5 years. To the river edge, major sporting facilities, cultural institutions, a casino, major rail terminus under there. Adelaide has built over the air rights above the railway line more definitively than Melbourne has, so that obviously represents an opportunity that Adelaide may have grasped slightly ahead of Melbourne, ironically. Anyway, I'll leave that there. Thank you.